just talking about back in the day, here with Kev Brown in the Lean Kitchen in Wigan. His business off the pitch, his business on the pitch. We're going to talk about both right now. Kev, firstly, it's been a bit of an up and down season. How would you put it into words?
Well, it's been tough, frustrating, and yeah, it's been challenging. But at the same time, you know, it's something that's really tested our character. And you know, winning the last 4 on the bounce is something that we're happy with, and hopefully we can keep up with that momentum now.
Warrington, such an exciting move for you, moving across from Widnes, going to a bigger club. On paper, definitely in a club that's always been competing in the last few years, up at the top of the league and also in all the cup competitions. This year, not to be, but like Leeds suffered last year, I think Warrington will come back bigger and stronger next year, especially with the experience of the young kids, young English kids that Tony's been blooding.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the experience, I've never been through anything like this before, and you know, that's probably the same for a lot of the players there, so I think the experience has been good for us. It's made us a lot closer, and I think you value the wins a lot more and the good times, because we've had these tough times, and like I say, it has been tough, but the good thing is we've stuck together, and hopefully we've come out the other side and we can keep performing, because you know, last Friday we played Widnes over at their place, and it was a real tough game, and it was the best I've seen Widnes play for a long time, and to come from behind and finish that game real strong and win convincingly was pretty good.
Mate, they say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but what's Tony Smith taught you this year?
Look, we've got three good coaches there, Tony, Rich Agar and Lee Breers. So, you know, they're all teaching me different things, and I think just working, I think the main thing I've took out of this year is the character, you know. Playing when you're winning all the time and everyone's clapping you and patting you on the back is easy, and, you know, it really is easy, but playing when you're getting, you know, a bit of abuse and, you know, people getting stuck into you is hard, and you have got to show a bit of character, and you know, I think the hard work we've put in this year, I think that's what, you know, I've learned the most out the year.
Widnes played to Kev Brown's strengths. They almost built a squad around you, the main man down there, and it was a structured kind of play. Warrington have always played unstructured rugby. Do you think that's been the difficulty for yourself and the team making it gel this year, the fact that you're going in and trying to put your own systems in and actually play to a routine?
Oh, there's obviously a little bit of that. I think, you know, every team I've played in's had, you know, a bit of, I call it shape, really, or the structure. And we weren't structured in the fact that we did certain things at Widnes. It was just a shape, and we're doing similar stuff now at Warrington. And, you know, I speak to Gids and, you know, a few of the players, that's what they did last year as well. So, yeah, the one of the best sides once the game breaks open and playing sort of a flat and fast game, and I love playing that game as well. So it's just finding that balance, and you know, I think defensively has been one of our areas that we've needed to improve, and we have improved this year.
Mate, looking forward off the field as well, because we've been here since the day it opened, Lean Kitchen in Wigan. It looks awesome. The food's always really good. How's life as a businessman been? What have you learned in business?
Yeah, well, sometimes this, you know, keeps me sane when things are going tough at rugby, and then things will start going well at rugby, and these lot in here, you know, drive me up the wall. But no, we've got a great staff, and you know, we've got a real good atmosphere in here, and we're starting to get a few people in Wigan knowing a bit more about us now, and we've got a few regulars. It's good. It's going well. And
you've expanded as well. You're going to walk us around the back. What have you done in the back? Because when I first came here, it was just this unit. Looked great, but I've noticed today when I packed up, Lean Kitchen all the way down. Now tell us about your new bit.
Yeah, well, we was learning on the run, and you know, I've never owned a restaurant before, so getting into it was challenging, and we just didn't expect to take up as much areas that we needed, and you know, storage and preparation, and you know, the hygiene was massive that we had to learn on the run. So we've opened through the back now for a meal prep area, so we can do the meal preps, and you know, they're just starting to take off now, which is really pleasing.
Mate, it's always a learning curve. We've been at this for 5 years now, rugby. I mean, I remember you coming over into my garage back in the day. Did you ever think it'd get to where it's got to now?
Oh, mate, I remember coming over with Freddie, and when we were driving back, we just said how much of a good time we'd had. I don't think we'd have drove over to Leeds for nothing, you know, stay there for a few hours, and if we weren't enjoying it. And I think that's the thing that you bring to rugby. Everyone's, you know, sees you as a likeable guy, and your team that you've got with you, Wagger and Jonesy and the lads behind the cameras, it's always good fun. So yeah, I always thought it'd do well. Probably not as well as it has done so quick, but the work you've all put in is, you know, it's credit to you all.
This month alone, just this month, we've had 383,353 minutes of our content watched on YouTube. I was shocked when I got those stats.
You know, that's Wagger just watching himself.
I know, he's just Wagger watching himself. That's 256 days of Rugby M content I've been watching 1 month, and it's what amazes me is it's from all over the world, and people are getting in touch with us now from America saying, "Oh mate, I love your interviews," and Toronto got a big following in Canada. It's great that the game's expanding. It's really important that the game does expand, isn't it?
It is. It's brilliant, and every time I see Toronto, they're like a breath of fresh air. We've never heard of anyone playing rugby in Canada before, and all of it. I think they've got a great coach there as well in Paul Rowley. The way they play the game, they're not just winning, but they're playing some attractive rugby as well. So from what I've seen, they're a very, very good side, and it's brilliant, and hopefully we can have more teams like that pop up, and it's great for the game.
Mate, I've got to ask you, we had a chat this afternoon about the need for a proper players' union in the game. You had some really strong ideas. I thought I'd just ask you tonight on camera as well, just some of the, obviously we know Freddie's had to retire from injury recently, and there's all sorts of issues. What would you like to see happen in the future for Rugby League and the players?
Oh, I wouldn't want a union where you're just sort of arguing all the time and, you know, loggerheads with the RFL, but I just think having a player's voice and sort of seeing it from our point of view. You know, I've played in this game for a long time, and, you know, I've got some strong opinions on, you know, the sort of welfare behind the players and the rights that we sort of don't have contract-wise, and, you know, you see people losing their jobs, and whether that's through injury or through the structure, I just don't think that's... So we never got told about that. We just get told what we're doing. So I think, you know, having discussions as a union, you know, if there's a couple of senior players from each team and everyone bought in, I think it would be really good for the next wave of players and them after it, and hopefully make it a better sport for them.
Lastly, mate, Yorkshire, Lancashire, it's the game that's on everyone's lips, coming back together. Did you ever get to play in Yorkshire, Lancashire, or a bit too young for you?
No, I was playing for Wigan. I was 17, and I remember Danny Tickle playing, and I think if I remember rightly, Tez Newton gave Dave Hodgson a slap, and that was they were two teammates at the time, and it was pretty fun to watch. So looking forward to some of the old boys slapping each other around.
Well, I think Wagger's been getting it right under everyone's skin, and I think
Wagger's said he's going to give it Moz, hasn't
he actually has said he's going to give it Adrian Morley. I think his mouth's right in checks, his body can't cash. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the night. You're in pretty much the Yorkshire camp, surprisingly.
Oh, I hope Lancashire win. I just think you've handpicked that Yorkshire side much younger. I've run around with Dennis Betts a few times at training, and he's let's say his leg speed's sort of lacking a little bit these days. So he's you know, Danny Orr and Chris Thorman, they're in great shape still, and obviously they have got a chance because Wayne Godwin's playing for Yorkshire, so that's a tick for Lancashire. Martin
Gleeson released a video yesterday saying of all the accolades, there's actually something ridiculous like 100 honours on the field, more ridiculous amount of grand final wins, Lance Todd's Challenge Cups, and he just said, of all the accolades all the players have won, Wagger's won nothing. That's what he said, Martin Gleeson. Give it to him straight. It's a bit of fun, and it's a great opportunity for Gleeson and Orley to get a few quid for the testimonial, so yeah, it's always good to see.
It's good, and I think it shows that there is a genuine interest in the War of the Roses. I think, you know, if that could kick off again and marketed right, I think.
Would you play for Lancashire?
I'd hope so, if I'm still around. I wouldn't be playing for Yorkshire, that's for sure.